we work part of the year, several months of the year, with prescribed fire. Florida is the prescribed fire capital of the world. We do over 2 million acres a year in the state of Florida, and the rest of the country, I think, added together only does 10 million acres. So we're very proud of our prescribed program. We're very proud of the legislature giving us the resources to buy the equipment that we need. Some of the equipment, some of the newer equipment you can see here, some of the drone technology was able to start fires, able to monitor fires in real time. You know, when you have inclement weather, you can't always put up a fixed wing plane, you can't always put a helicopter up, but we can put a drone up. If we lose a drone, you know, it's going to be okay, right? We're, you know, our safety is our number one concern. The dozers the legislature has provided in the last 3 years, I believe, I don't know what the total number is, but I believe we had about an 18-year-old fleet 2 years ago, and today I believe that is closer to about a 12 or 13-year-old fleet. We're trying to get that below 10 years, because when we need our dozers, they have to start. They have to be on these fires. We fought over, I believe, 1,000 fires already this year. We will fight another 1,500 to 2,000 fires between now and the end of fire season. A lot of those fires are started by Mother Nature with lightning, but most of the fires are by arson or backyard fires that get away from us. And so we're here today to just warn the public, please do not throw cigarettes out your window. Contain your backyard fires. If you're going to have a fire pit, if you've got a barbecue, make sure it is thoroughly put out, because the best fire to fight is the one that never started. And we have the best trained men and women anywhere in the country in the Florida Forest Service. They have the best training in the world. They have the best equipment in the world. But wildfires can get out of hand. We've seen what it's done out west, and you know, we certainly do not want to have an incident like that here. We had a pretty large fire just a few weeks ago in Miami, and I think it got up to about 50,000 acres total. But we took care of that fire in very short order relative to what we were dealing with there. Obviously, a nuclear power plant was in the area. The racetrack was in the area. So we had very high strategic value targets for the state of Florida. And we did that very successfully because of the professionalism of Rick Dolan and his team to make sure that we do that. Those successes do not guarantee future success. If the public sees something, we need you to say something. We need you to call. The earlier we can get on a fire and get it put out, the better we have it. We take nothing for granted here, and we are here to serve. We really appreciate our local firefighters that work with us in every county and the city municipalities. We work with all of them anytime we're needed, and we're looking for the continued partnerships. And anyways, we're here to just bring awareness today. So if you see something, certainly call local authorities. We have an open door with those local authorities and training arenas. Just did a major training here. We have now a fleet of 10 helicopters that are state copters. You've seen them in action now. We can go in and start putting fires out very quickly with some of that technology that we didn't have just a few years ago. We had older, when I say older helicopters, I mean from the 60s and 70s, the old Hueys from the military, and they weren't always reliable. And so we've got a lot better equipment now. We're very appreciative of those things. But we do need the public to stay vigilant. And again, we tell our folks to be very aggressive every day, but go home. So if you have a home, clean your gutters out, clean your roof off, make a defensible space that we can help you with when we get there. And thank y'all for being here today. I'm now going to turn it over to Rick Dolan, our director. He's been the director now for 2 years since I've been elected. He came on board at that time and has done an amazing job with the organization. And by the way, he started at the bottom. He started as a forester almost 30 years ago. Of course, he's only like 40 years old, so he was 10, whatever. But anyways, he's done an amazing job with our forces, and we're very proud of that. So, Rick.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's really good to be here again, promoting Wildfire Awareness Week. As the Commissioner said, we've responded to over 1,000 wildfires since January 1st. And to put that into perspective for you, at this point last year, we had responded to roughly 550. So we're a little bit over double where we were at this point last year, actually. And so we're expected another dry spring, much like it's the same kind of message that we had last year at this point. The National Weather Service has predicted a dry spring for us through the end of June, and they've been pretty spot on. A little bit different this winter. The Commissioner mentioned about the prescribed burn program here in the state of Florida, and it is an excellent. It's the best one in the country. And last year we were very fortunate to have excellent weather and do a lot of prescribed burning around the state and actually set records. This year, because of the very dry winter, which was accurately predicted, we haven't burned quite as much, but we were able to get a lot of burning done. And the most important thing is that they did it very safely. And we are expecting Central and South Florida to be above average. We've gotten some timely rain in the Panhandle and North Florida recently, which will allow us to shift resources from North Florida to Central and South Florida as the fire activity picks up over the next 8 to 10 weeks. For example, we have drone teams in Central and South Florida as we speak to add some extra capacity to our district resources. Really proud of the partnerships that we have with the local fire service around the state. We can't do it alone. And the coordination and cooperation, for example, on the 344 fire at Miami-Dade was high profile, and a lot of infrastructure was threatened, and all the resources that were on scene did an excellent job. I was really proud of the coordination and the effort that went in down there. We didn't lose a structure, and there was a lot of valuable things that were threatened. The Florida Forest Service has some of the best firefighters in the country. Our men and women are trained at the top of their game, and we're very fortunate and very thankful, as the Commissioner mentioned, about the extra equipment that we've gotten and updating our dozer fleet, which is our initial attack fire apparatus, as you see behind us here. And we're very fortunate to turn those over. For example, we purchased 43 new dozers this last year, and that's a big number for our agency. We're really proud of that, and we're very thankful that the legislature and Commissioner Simpson supports the Florida Forest Service and our emergency response effort. So with that, I guess Commissioner and I will take questions. Thank you.
I'm not sure who this is best for, actually. When it comes to using drones, are you putting the drones up without any sign of a fire, or do they only go up once there's a potential fire? Just explain the strategy behind the use of the drone.
So we will deploy those to a wildfire. We don't typically put them up for detection. It's more of a safety feature. It's an excellent tool to ensure that our firefighters are safe. It will help our folks on the ground make better tactical decisions. And it's new for our agency over the last couple of years, and we're really excited about those prospects and being able to utilize those in conjunction with our forces on the ground.
Yeah, and when you think about your drone program, what I really like about it, and we just talked about it earlier, the little balls you see in there is how we start forest fires. So if we're doing prescribed burns, in the past we may use a helicopter at $1,000 an hour to operate, versus now a drone can go up and start those fires. You're not putting people's lives in danger flying helicopters. You're not dealing with inclement weather. You're dealing with a very localized situation. So we're really hopeful that as drones continue to get better and better, they have infrared cameras. We can fly over an area that's burning, and if a fire jumps, you can see it, in real time. A muck fire, you can see, the signature in infrared. If there are any people in there, you can see that signature in there. So it brings a lot of opportunities to the Forest Service that sometimes in inclement weather, where you couldn't get the fixed wing plane or the helicopter there, you can put that drone up, and we've stressed that many times. If a drone goes down, it's bad, right? It's a $70,000 piece of equipment. If a helicopter or a plane goes down, we're losing people, and so we're very proud of the technology that Rick is bringing to the organization to make it safer.
Commissioner, are you able to, if you can, just a lot of the people, you say a lot of them are started by arson, which people often think is something that's done purposefully, and someone being kind of incendiary. Can you just explain, and how do you tell people that even when you think you're going about very normal type things, throwing a cigarette out, as you said, putting a campfire out, that these are things that can often start accidental fires?
That's right, and those are the biggest fires. We have more fires that are accidentally set and arson. If you add that combination up, that's the largest amount of fires that we fight. And, fortunately, there are so many people with cameras these days. 30 years ago, we all didn't carry a video recorder with us. And so we do get there much quicker these days sometimes because people call in and things. But if you are at a campsite, if you're in your backyard, please put those campfires out thoroughly. Your barbecue grill, don't leave that. If the wind's blowing hard, you can blow ashes out of that and start a fire. And a lot of times that's in the neighborhoods. And then, of course, we've actually caught several arsonists, in the last year. And we are we're getting a lot better at catching arsonists that are starting fires because people see things and they say things, and we get people there very quickly. We recently, we were able to, and we're in the process of putting our law enforcement back in our forest systems. So over the course of the next 10, 12 months, we will actually have people there around the clock in our forests in most cases with this type of technology to make sure that we can catch that. And arson, if we catch you, you're going to go to jail. If you have the backyard, barbecue, the backyard fire, bonfire, what have you, please put those out thoroughly. And we've seen a lot of cases where, someone will go to bed at 11 o'clock at night and they think they've got it put away, and 3 in the morning they're calling their house is on fire. And again, I think it's very important to talk about around your house, build a defensible space. Clear out your gutters, clean your roof off, make sure you don't have that fire, that fuel around your home, and build that defensible space. When our people show up, it makes their lives a lot easier when they have a defensible space.
We have a website, bewildfirereadyfl.com, that really goes into detail exactly what the commissioner's talking about, how to protect yourself and protect your property. And I think one other point that I think is really important as we really gear up for this fire season is that people need to really pay attention to weather, and specifically relative humidity. You get relative humidities that are in the 30s or below, easier for fires to start here in Florida. Wind, obviously, those very windy days, you need to be mindful of those. And the other thing that people really need to think about is days since rain. That's really an important thing. If you start getting, anytime in Florida, you get into double digits days since rain, you have a higher probability of a fire start.
Is it drier than normal right now, or is it typical? Or?
It's a little drier than normal, for sure, here in Central Florida. It's extremely dry in South Florida, specifically Southwest Florida, around the Fort Myers and Naples area. We've had quite a bit of fire activity in the last few weeks.
I have one other topic. Do you want to do that here, or do you want to do after? All right.
After.
Okay.
Hey, thank y'all for coming out and getting the word out. Keep everybody safe. All right, thank you guys. If anyone wants to get a picture of the drones or look at the technology, you're welcome to come up and ask any questions or what's going on.
Took one off and they all fall.
That's the funniest thing.
Like, holy
We're
cow.
going to be in Tampa tomorrow. It's funny, my boss actually called me.
Let me get this straight. You went out there yesterday, and he was going to be here today? I'm like, yeah, let's make the video. She goes, I know, I'm just
News director.
Did you give her one of the coins?
I have not seen her yet, but I should.
Never
Oh,
won.
I meant to bring you mine.
You good? So you owe me a beer now. Even if you
Oh,
give me,
that-
give this
that-
to your news director.
Got it.
Tell her that's why we did that.